Here we've been given a system of equations to solve x squared plus y squared equals 34 and y minus x equals 2. Now, this is what is called a higher order system of equations because of these exponents that are more than 1. In a second, what we'll do to solve this is the substitution method. We always like to use it for higher order problems. But before we do the substitution method, it's important for us to know what the two shapes are that we have. X squared plus y squared equals 34. That's a circle with the center at 0, 0. And y minus x equals 2, that's going to be a line. So a circle and a line, and we're trying to decide where the two pictures intersect each other. A circle and a line, you could have the line going through the circle, intersecting it in two places. Or you could have the line touching in just one place, which means that it would be tangent to the circle. It's also possible that the line might miss it entirely and we'd have no solution at all. So let's first think about what the graph of this would look like. Here are the two pictures drawn together, and you see that they are intersecting each other. They intersect here at what appears to be -5, -3, and they're also intersecting there at what appears to be 3, 5. Let's see if we can get that same solution by doing this with the substitution method. Now, the substitution method says take one of the equations, it doesn't matter which one, and solve it for one of the variables. The bottom equation, being linear, makes it easier to work with. So let's take the bottom equation, and I'm going to choose to solve it for y so that I make as many things positive as possible. When we solve this for y, it means that we'll move this minus x to the other side of the equation, and that of course changes it to being a positive x. So now what this means is throughout this problem, anywhere that I see a y, I can now replace it with x plus 2. That means I can take this information to the other equation. Anywhere that I see a y, I can now replace it with x plus 2. So let's do that. In the top equation, let's take x plus 2 and substitute it where we did have a y. That gives us this new equation, which is now in just one variable. Once we've done this substitution, now I need to know what this binomial being squared is. Remember, we take the first term and square. X, if you square it, is x squared. We multiply these terms together and then times 2. Multiplying them together gives 2x. Then times 2 makes 4x. Then we square the back one, and 2 squared made 4. If you have trouble squaring this binomial, remember you could always say x plus 2 times x plus 2 and FOIL it. Now, looks like I've got some like terms that I can put together. So combining those x squares, it gives me 2 of the x squares. When you've got a quadratic equation to solve, you need everything on the same side with 0 on the other. So I need to now move the 34 to the left. It's a positive 34, so when I move it across, we'll be subtracting. 4 minus 34 gives me -30. Now, when we're solving something quadratic, we could do it with the quadratic formula, but if it'll factor, I want to try that first since it's faster. I see that everybody here is even, so I know I can factor a 2 out. Once I do, dividing each of these things by 2 leaves me x squared plus 2x minus 15. Now that's the part that's important. Those things inside the parentheses, that's what will factor to help us to get to our solution. The 2 out in front is now irrelevant since it did not have an x with it. Let's factor x squared plus 2x minus 15. That, of course, factors as x plus 5, and x minus 3. If we set each of those factors equal to 0, our solutions for x would be either x equals -5 or x equals +3. But now remember, we're not done just knowing the x's. We need to know the points where the two pictures intersect each other. So I've got to figure out what the corresponding y values will be for each of these x's, and then I need to write my answer as an ordered pair. -5 or 3, those are our x's. Let's figure out the y's. To do that, go back to where we solved for y and found that y is equal to x plus 2. If I know that x is -5, -5 plus 2 makes -3. So one of my solutions, just like we saw in the picture, is -5, -3. For the other one, again, back in the y equals x plus 2, let's substitute 3 in the place of the x. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. X is 3, y is 5. So here is my other solution.